Vampires, dark creatures of the night who prey on humanity by feasting on blood, our very life force. In a world of cosmic entities, dark gods, and weapons of mass paranormal destruction, it's hard to then turn a focus on the more mundane of the paranormal spectrum. That something as simple and basic as a vampire can put a dent in the drama the B.P.R.D. comes to face. The origins of vampires date back to the prehistoric era, and during that time they were known as the Cold People. These people were savage and hunted humans on a daily basis. They would come out at night, and the only true way to kill them was to stick them with a wooden stake. The ancient vampire species were children of the old gods and worshippers of the old Druid Jihad, a mass of powerful cosmic draconic gods who are destined to bring about the end of the world, and their sister deity, Black Hecate, the goddess of witches. But their files will be saved for another time. These prehistoric vampires sought to revive an old god, but failed to do so thanks to the will and strength of prehistoric man, who fought back the dark and made them retreat back into the unknown from whence they came. According to vampire experts, vampires of the European variety migrated to the Americas in the 1700s in Stamford, Connecticut. There, a group of young colonialists tried to imitate the Boston Tea Party and dress up like the Indians with the goal of sneaking aboard a ship known as the HMS Madeline Rose. It was to their dismay that they discovered that the ship was filled with Prussian vampires, which had been sent by British forces to put an end to the many forms of colonial unrest during the time. The sole survivor, a man by the name of Samuel Rogers, tries his best to warn people about the coming threat of vampires, but not many people believed his story, and while some of the vampires were destroyed, half a dozen of them survived and went into hiding, where they were able to restore their ranks and spread into their new world. An unexpected trait of the vampire species is that they are an extremely religious bunch. Hecate, the goddess of witches, rears her head again here, being a deity who they hold a festival for annually. Hundreds of witches and the heads of great vampire families gather, as this festival is seen as the holiest day on their calendar. During the 16th and 17th centuries, vampires had begun to spread out all over Eastern Europe, but due to the events on the HMS Madeline Rose, word began to spread of their presence, and as the years progressed, mankind began to fight back against them. Books were written, methods of killing constructed, and the vampire hunter came into prominence. This surge in human forces drove vampires from the many places around the world they once inhabited, such as Africa and Southeast Asia. It wasn't until 1774 that all vampire activity ceased, and it was decided by the heads of the great vampire families to go into hiding and hunt in secret. Over time, humanity would forget them and see them only as myth and legend. But vampires are a vengeful species just as we are, and agree that sometime in the future, when humanity least expected it, the vampire would rise again. Their armies would spread across the world, and humanity would be brought to its knees. With given evidence and daily events, myth and legend are always rooted in fact. Keep your wood sharp, your faith strong, silver in hand, and forget what you think you know. Vampires exist.